demand and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Coming up at 11, the United States destroys the last of its declared chemical weapons right here in the Bluegrass.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Olivia Calfee. A historic milestone decades in the making. Today, the Bluegrass Army Depot destroyed the final agent in its chemical weapons stockpile. It ends a nearly 3-decade commitment to get rid of the weapons in Madison County. The destruction is historic for not only Kentucky, but the U.S. Julia Sandor spoke to one advocate who has helped keep the community safe all these years.
A sigh of relief.
It was an awe-inspiring moment after all this time.
Craig Williams has been working on safely ridding central Kentucky of chemical weapons for 39 years.
It's not only a glorious day for Kentucky, but it is the first global effort to rid the planet of a class of weapons of mass destruction.
The process began under the 1997 Chemical Weapons Convention Treaty. Under the treaty, the U.S. committed to completing the destruction by September 30th of 2023. He says when the Army first announced that they had chemical weapons in Madison County, there were many concerns.
It was not unreasonable to think that it could become an incineration site for military waste for decades to come. And when you put that into the mindset we had that it was already dangerous, it was just not acceptable at all.
Communities united to help pass legislation, which he says forced the Army to identify and demonstrate alternatives to incineration.
That were more protective of the public health and the environment where they were going to dispose of these weapons, including here in Kentucky.
The Bluegrass Army Depot started destroying over 500 tons of lethal chemical agents in 2019. With the final destruction of the U.S. chemical weapons, Williams says it isn't a bad thing that the Bluegrass Army Depot was the last spot, because things could have gone much differently.
We're proud to be the last. You know, sometimes being last is okay because you learn a lot from the previous exercises. And we did learn quite a bit.
In Richmond, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
The Bluegrass Army Depot will have a newser tomorrow morning to discuss the milestone. It begins at 10 a.m. Federal leaders weighed in on the weapons destruction. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement saying, in part, we wouldn't be here today with the determination of local leaders. He went on to say the people of Madison County can finally breathe a sigh of relief. President Biden released a statement saying, in part, quote, it marks the first time an international body has verified destruction of an entire category of declared weapons of mass destruction. I am grateful to the thousands of Americans who gave their time and talents to this noble and challenging mission for more than 3 decades. We are following a developing situation out of Laurel County. Right now, a rescue squad is on the scene at Laurel Lake in response to a possible drowning. That's according to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. Our sister station, WKYT, is reporting a young man was swimming with his friends and disappeared after jumping in the water. He is considered a missing person right now. We're still working to get more information about the situation. We'll update you as we learn more. A tragic death for a well-known couple in Pulaski County. The brother and sister-in-law of Sam Catron were found dead in their home this afternoon. The sheriff says a family member found Lewis and Carol Catron dead around 4 p.m. The coroner says they died of carbon monoxide poisoning due to a vehicle left running. Lewis is a longtime member of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office and was serving as an honorary deputy. Lewis is the brother of former Pulaski Sheriff Sam Catron, who was assassinated more than 20 years ago. Sheriff Bobby Jones released a statement saying our hearts and prayers go out to the Catron family as they face yet another tragedy.
Quiet night for many weather-wise. We continue to see warm temperatures, though. Mid-70s out there right now as we look toward our Pikeville Medical Center camera. City lights on, all quiet on the weather front out there, no pun intended. Low to mid-70s out there for the vast majority of us. 75 Harlan and Jackson, 77 right now into Monticello. So it is still mild in some spots. It'll be mild for a little bit longer. We'll slowly drop those temperatures into the low 70s and eventually the mid-60s as we head through the next 12 hours. But 12 hours from now, we're going to be pushing 80 again as a hot Saturday awaits us. And I'll have the details on the potential for strong to severe storms as well in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Evan, thank you. Senate Bill 229 going into effect gives child abuse advocate agencies more of a voice. The bill makes sure all agencies are communicating about details in abuse cases. Executive Director for the Kentucky River Children's Advocacy Center, Pamela Carey, says they are often left out due to communication. However, with this bill, it ensures all details are shared throughout agencies.
Maybe the other agency that's providing the therapy has no idea that, this is happening. It could be something as simple as their address changed. And if you don't know that and you go to do in-home therapy with this person and they're not home, maybe they didn't contact you, but just all agencies have to work together to make sure that all the information is out there.
Carey says this bill is a step in the right direction of ending child abuse. She added that it will take everyone to continue moving forward. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission is getting ready to discuss how to implement sports wagering in the state. The commission called a special meeting for Monday. A new state law permits the state's 9 horse racing tracks to open retail sports betting lounges and work with online betting apps. The Horse Racing Commission still needs to set new rules and regulations before any sports betting can take place. A Western Kentucky police officer who was shot yesterday has been identified. Officer Matt Davis was the police officer who was shot Thursday evening after the shooting. Davis was rushed into surgery and was listed in critical but stable condition. The investigation is being led by Kentucky State Police. In late June, Governor Beshear announced $74 million of coal severance funds for counties across the state. Floyd County is one of several receiving a chunk of those funds, more than $2 million. Judge Executive Robbie Williams says along with using these funds for infrastructure, parks, and other programs, it will also greatly impact local economies.
Anytime we can pump more money back into the economy, the way I look at it, I think this, I've always kind of looked at it this way. At a minimum, your money rolls over 2 times in your economy. If you spend $10,000, it's that by the time that money rolls over into your local economy, it's equivalent to $30,000.
Williams added that a big focus for these funds will be used for road repairs following last year's severe flooding. The Colson Civic Center's thrift shop is now open for anyone looking for a bargain. The center opened the thrift store to help flood survivors refurnish or redecorate their homes for a low cost. Shirley Sexton is the owner and says she is excited that this shop benefits the community and her center for the better.
This helps the center and it helps the people of the community, and it gives them something to do and a place to go in their own community, and we think that's important to hold the community together because this was the center of the community when it was a school.
The thrift shop is open Monday through Friday and they only accept cash for purchases. A conference all about creatives is coming to Virginia next month. CreatorCon is set to fill the Norton Expo Center with entrepreneurs and creative minds. As business owner Ryan Jones plants partnerships to cultivate a community for area entrepreneurs. Jones says the event, which is accepting registrants now, is a way to bring the makers to the table.
CreatorCon is an educational experience for creators and entrepreneurs. We'll also have students and economic developers in the room as well to network, share ideas, take away actionable items to help you grow your adventure in business.
The event is the first of its kind in the region, and Jones says he hopes it is just one of many he is able to organize. One local volunteer fire department received some new equipment to help serve and protect the region. The Hindman Volunteer Fire Department was awarded new equipment which came from a grant through the Kentucky Fire Commission. The new equipment includes a battery-powered extrication tool, a 3-gas detector, and an AED. Officials with the Volunteer Fire Department thanked the Kentucky Fire Commission for making the grants possible. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, the federal government releases its June jobs report. Unemployment is still near an all-time low.
And continuing to watch the possibility for strong storms at times this weekend. The details in just a moment.
Is a story about purpose. This is a story